Thank the member for Brand. The question is that the amendments be agreed to, and I give the call to the member for Bass.
Deputy Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity to speak on this legislation and these amendments. Deputy Speaker, I thank the member for Brand for her contribution with respect to this debate. She quite rightly paid particular attention to the fact that this legislation, this Orwellian treatment as so-called sustainability when it comes to higher education, that this is some way supporting the university sector, supporting the ability of people to go to university and to advance themselves in life. We know here on this side of the chamber that this represents the most grievous attack, not just on the universities but also on young people and also people within the regions. I have the pleasure to represent, as does my friend the member for Braddon, Northern Tasmania, an area which historically has underperformed. There's been lots of economic analysis as to what it is that holds back Northern Tasmania and Tasmania as a whole. And of course, the fact that the Tasmanian economy has significantly underperformed the equivalent economies even in region Australia is something that's been the subject of economic analysis. And one of the theories underpinning this is the fact that educational attainment, in particular higher educational attainment, is not keeping pace in Tasmania. So what we need is not less support for higher education and higher education sector in areas like Northern Tasmania and other regional communities throughout Australia, but more. The important thesis is that average wages, average incomes in the regions are significantly below those in urban communities. We have better educational attainment in the urban communities. The regional parts of states, in particular a state like Tasmania, suffer from lower educational attainment, and we see in the cities greater representation of people who have graduated with higher degrees. It is reasonable to suggest that investment in education, not denying investment in education, is the way that this parliament should proceed. We know on this side of the House that investment in higher education and education generally is an investment in the economy in the long term. This government, I've said previously, has a one-point plan for the economy in Australia, a one-point plan which involves shoveling $80 billion worth of money out the door, in particular to the big banks. We know there's a better way to proceed. We know that it's not coincidental that the amount of money that's being invested in the tax cuts for the big banks is roughly the same that's been denied in education. Well, thank you, the member for Bowman, but he should know a conspiracy when he looks at it. The important thing is that the Labor Party, this side of politics, has recognised that investment in education is important, particularly for regional Tasmania. That's why during the 2016 federal election campaign we committed to the University Transformation Project in Northern Tasmania. We committed to the fact that we need to improve educational attainment in Northern Tasmania. We want to see higher education with better numbers of graduates graduating from university, higher incomes and higher productivity, particularly within the Tasmanian economy. Every small business in Northern Tasmania should aspire to the fact that they have better productivity through paying their highly educated workforce more and, of course, improving the performance, the economic performance of their business. Now, there is no doubt that people recognise that universities represent a significant opportunity for economic growth. Recent studies suggest that the mere presence of higher numbers of university graduates in an economy significantly drive employment, not just within the graduate cohort but within the wider workforce. What's the response of this government? The response of this government is to make it more difficult for people to attend university, or if they do attend university, they'll have a higher education debt which they'll pay off earlier, because this government simply doesn't see our young people or our people in regional Australia having the opportunity to get ahead. We know that regional Australia, we know that regional economies, the other states throughout Australia need this investment in higher education. It's vitally important that we push back, that we reject these amendments, we reject this legislation. Thank you.